Hey boys and girls, it's Mr. Walls back with another video lesson. This is our fourth video lesson, and we're going to keep this one a little on the short side. We're going to look at two different songs. We're on page 7 of our Essential Elements band book, and we're going to start by looking at the song Lightly Row. If you haven't played any notes yet, if you haven't warmed up at all yet, why don't you pause the video and play some long tones. Play an E and hold it for as long as you can, and then do the same thing on an F, and then maybe a D, and then a G. Get the blood flowing around your mouth, in your lips. It'll make what we're about to do a lot easier. So we're looking at the song Lightly Row. This is an old melody. I'm not even sure where it came from. I didn't learn it until I was actually in college learning how to play different instruments, and I was introduced to this melody. It's a really fun melody to play and very good for young musicians to learn how to play. So we're looking at the first two measures of Lightly Row, and we start with notes that are on lines. And of course we know that the line notes are Every Good Boy Does Fine. And our first note is on the second line, which is Every Good, that's our G. We play G's and E's, and then in the next measure we're on space notes, F and D. So we start out with G going to E, and then F going to D. Again, G to E, pick up your second valve, and you're on your F going to D. Let's play those first two measures, starting with G and E. Tongue your notes, give your half notes 2 beats. 1, 2, ready. Let's do that again. 1, 2, G, then E. And that's a lot trickier than it looks, but it's very playable. And now we're at the breath mark, and we're about to go up a scale. We're playing C, D, E, F, and G. This is the sequence of notes in this song that I really love because it's so good for my young players to be able to play up that scale. It's a 5-note scale, and it should become automatic to go C, D, E, F, G on the instrument. Let's do that right now. 1, 2, C, then D. Let's do that again. Ready? On the C. The next two measures are the same as the first two measures. We have G, then E, then F, then D. 1, 2, second breath mark, play. And then as we continue at the third breath mark, we play the beginning of what we call an arpeggio, where we're outlining a chord. We play a C, then an E, then a G, and a G, and we return to the low C. So the only note in that sequence that requires fingers is the second note, the E. Everything else is open. C, E, G, G, C. Let's play that. 1, 2, ready. Good, we're going to play that again. Take a big breath, save your air for the G's. Don't play the low C real heavy. Play it light. Tongue the E strongly, and then when you're playing those G's, tongue strongly and use lots of air to get those G's to come out. Here we go. C, E, G, G, C. Again, ready? Go. The Now we're on the next line. I can see that I have a whole measure of Ds. That's 4 Ds, but the next measure also begins with a D, so I have 5 Ds in a row, and then I go to my E and my F. 5 Ds, and then an E and an F. Remember that we go to the E on number 6, on beat number 6. 5 Ds. 1, 2, ready. And then I continue on 5 E's, and then F, G. Ready? 5 E's. Let's do that again. 5 E's, and then F, G. Ready? The next 2 measures, E, G, E, E, F, D, D. We've already done that twice in the song. Now we're doing it a 3rd time. G's and E's, F's and D's. Ready? Play. And then in our last 2 measures again, we outline the chord with C, E, G, G, and low C. Ready? Let's play all of Lightly Row without stopping. Make sure that you take a breath with me at every breath mark. Even if you feel like you don't need a breath, that's where the punctuation is in the music. That's where we should phrase. Here we go. From the beginning of Lightly Row, G's and E's, F's and D's. We do that 3 times in the song. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Second line. And as you're practicing that song, you should chunk it. You should work in 1 measure at a time, and then put the 2 measure phrases together, and practice a 2 measure phrase 2 or 3 or 4 times, if that's what it takes. The sooner you are playing every 2 measure phrase in the song correctly, that means that the next time you play it, more than likely you'll play it correctly again. We're trying to learn these songs with a minimum of mistakes. Then when you come to your lesson with me, we don't have to fix things. We can take a look, we can talk about tweaking things and making it even better, and then we can move on. So that's Lightly Row on page 7. Let's turn the page and take a look on the top of page 9 at our new note. We've already looked at this in lessons, but let's review it. It's our low B. It's the next note down from C, 2nd valve B. Here's a C and B. Do that with me. A C and a B. Pretty easy note to identify. It's the next note down from your low C. The C has the line going through it. It has the little ledger line going through the middle of the note. The B is the note under the line that's going through your low C. Pretty easy to understand. Let's take a look at song number 34, Doodle All Day. It has B's in the second half of the song. We start off going back and forth between E's and C's. And they throw an F, E, D in at the end. So here's the first two measures, playing E's and C's. We'll play to the breath mark. 1, 2, E's and C's. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Let's do it again. Strong fingers. I want to hear your valves banging down and up. 1, 2, ready, and play. Let's continue with the breath mark on 2 E's, E, E, F, E, D. Notice how the first valve stays down for all the notes. I never pick it up. E, E, F, E, D. Here we go. 1, 2 E's, ready, and play. We have a half rest for 2 beats, and now we continue going back and forth between D and B. It's going to feel kind of funky because we've really never moved back and forth like this from 1 and 3 to second valve. I hope you're doing this with me right now. So we're going to play 2 B, 2 D's, 2 B's, 2 D's, and a half note B. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. That's pretty cool. Do it again. Ready, play. And then we continue with G, G, F, D, C. G, G, first valve F, then first and third D, low C. Here we go. Here's the ending. 2 G's, ready. And of course we end on a whole note, a note that takes up the whole measure, gets 4 beats. Let's play the whole song. Here's Doodle All Day from the very beginning. Breathing at the breath marks, tonguing our notes. 1, 2, ready. Rest, rest. Repeat. Rest, rest. And I hope that you recognize that melody. We're playing an easy version of Polly Wolly Doodle All Day. I'll bet you recognize that melody, don't you? Sure you do. Hey, before we end this short video lesson, take a look halfway down the page. The third tan box talks about dynamics. Dynamics is talking about how loud or soft we should play in a song. And every song that we look at for the rest of this band book is going to tell us how loud we should be playing. And we use some more Italian words in our musical language. F stands for forte, which means to play loudly. MF is mezzo forte, moderately loud, not as loud as forte, moderately loud. And then we see the letter P for piano, to play softly. And this is really important. If you really want to get someone's attention, go from speaking loudly to speaking softly, and you'll get their attention. And we do that in music all the time. We say things musically by playing soft and medium loud and loud on our instruments. So dynamics, we'll be talking about that a lot in the future. Hey boys and girls, these are two great songs for you to learn. Get them in your fingers, and I will see you at your next lesson. See ya.